Well, Famble and good day and welcome to the program Midday Show where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy. From the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. In the same way, so they get you live on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. Me, Adeyemi Jackson, where they bring this edition of the program Midday Show come to you. Like all time inside the program, we get plenty information, reports, and music there inside the program. So continue for day with me for the next 1 hour. And today inside the program, I give me studio guest them. We get for look into issues we get for do with the environment as Salon. They plan for join other countries them in the world for observe World Environment Day. We go be June 8th this year. And for sake of that, I get for talk to some people them from the Environment Protection Agency. We go can talk about what the EPA don't they do for ensure say them protect the environment from harmful practices them and also the different things that they don't put in place for observe World Environment Day. The program na Midday Show and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You can be part of the program by way you go send message to the number 077-981-981 or go navigate the Democracy Facebook page and also YouTube page. So you go follow the program live. Drop a question or comment on the issue we will discuss inside the program today. The program na Midday Show. The program na Midday Show and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. The program they continue inside the program we look at the first issue inside the program. The Chief Executive Officer for the Millennium Challenge account in the Fatusi say then the design project for begin implementing $480 million MCC compact to address the life challenge within the country. This is one interview where they talk about the different plan them where this office don't put in place for sake of the MCC compact. And they talk more to Musa Kamara inside this interview.
Develop the compact, now be a government entity. We've been they work with MCC for develop that compact day. After we sign in 2024, that means a government get for set up other entity now with MCC for later implement the compact. So we don't see say this MCA don't can now. It means say we don't finally sign the compact and implementation of that $480 million don't begin.
What in the opening of this office mean to that implementation process?
So the opening of this office really now is symbol of that partnership between America and Salon, especially in the celebration now where they do for Freedom 250. So as then they celebrate this 250 years of independence, this year then they showcase American innovation. And one of the areas of innovation for America na energy. And then you get these compacts now na Salon, way now for energy. So this office in opening and this 250-year celebration, now for lay we able for see the partnership where America gets with Salon in the energy sector, and for sure say this compacts now one of the leading investments them where the government of America gets na Salon for able for improve the economy.
After the opening today, what's next?
After the opening, the work don't begin. So this not just for lay people that come for see the office, but we don't hire staff then they put out different procurements then for different work there what we need for do. For lay we able for begin for build the line there where the compact say we get for build. What's the line? I mean then transmission and then distribution line there. So right now get team where they work, where they design the different investments that we go come so that we go support the Ministry of Energy for bring better lights for people than a Salon.
When would they begin see the lights actually? Because people, when you talk about MCC, they want to see the lights. And you say procurements, they own, we don't recruit staff them. This is not just like exhibition. When exactly Salon people will begin feel or begin benefit from the MCC light?
The important part is that not so MCC no more they work in this energy sector. So I should say on the Minister of Energy, we don't talk about the different projects there where they are ahead of the MCC program. So what they think about America investments there on but that NANS projects where they around Kisi. So them projects and they on their way. So lights go they improve. Where then thing then they don't actually commission. We now they come for support all of them kind of investments and they so for MCC on particular investments now something where you get for see over the next 2 to 3 years. The Isamaker said that as you can imagine, if you get for build 244 kilometers of transmission line from the Newton all the way go Potoru near the Liberia border, then they not so small work, so it go take small time. But for say then they we own MCC compacts and no more than the energy sector, other thing than they and I know say better lights get for come as a result of the other investments the way they come na the sector.
At the end of the day, most people will benefit. Almost na the beneficiary population will na the target.
So where you look the analysis what we do, we say by the time we're done with this, over 4.6 million Salone people then go benefit directly from the investment of the compact. And then are over the period of the compact. So where we don't do all the transmission, the distribution, then we expect say where we do that impact assessment for see who that then don't get lights as a result of this. Whether in a households, businesses, we they look at least 4.6 million people then.
When we they talk to Brian Hunt, the then ambassador, and when we don't they follow the MCC compact, it gets 5 years enrollment plan. Now that 5 years enrollment don't start so.
Yes, so now we're in the design phase, as I say, of that process day. We they make sure say we get all the different procurements then done so that the clock for the 5 years, because the other thing for member this not so like their other developments funding them where you go able for extend. So now we they try for do all the preparatory work for them so that the 5 year clock go begin at least middle of next year. Now that's when they count year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. By that time, for don't done all thing.
Are they in position for implement them all within the 5 years?
Now the work done there of the team. So we definitely optimistic still go able for do them.
That and the Chief Executive Officer for the Millennium Challenge account, Ide Fatusi say they talked to Musa Kamara inside the interview. They also say they don't design project them for begin implement the $480 million MCC compact for address light challenge in the country. The program na midday show and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As I mentioned earlier, they say inside the program this afternoon, careful talk to two gentlemen them from the Environment Protection Agency, where we can talk about the different measures that we EPA don't they put in place for protect the environment, and also which are some of the plans them we EPA together with the ministry and government don't put for observe or celebrate the World Environment Day. Well, for talk on that, I want to introduce my first studio guest, winner Henry David Bayo, winner the Senior Climate Change Consultant and GCF Liaison Officer at the Environment Protection Agency. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure having me.
And also my other studio guest now, Aliyu Fumba, winner External Relations and Advocacy Officer at the Environment Protection Agency. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
I will come to you later, Aliyu, for can look at the activities, plans, and things that we don't put in place for the World Environment Day and how this day important to the environment in terms of fighting climate change and other issues. Then, let's come to you, Henry David Bayo. You are the Senior Climate Change Consultant, GCF Liaison Officer at Environment Protection Agency. Let's get a clear picture. What's your mandate at EPA?
Thank you very much. Of course, attached to the Climate Change Secretariat, and they provide technical support to the Secretariat. And by the name Climate Change, we work center around how we take action for address climate change issues. Of course, climate change is a very serious problem and existential threat. We don't affect everybody. So we roll now for plan, develop the necessary plans, develop projects, and see how we coordinate with other institutions, because as the name implies, secretariat. and for provide coordination, work with line ministries. And as a GCF liaison officer also, the EPA get a role also for mobilize money, right projects. And the Green Climate Fund, now one of the body that will provide money for address climate change issues. So the EPA, now the national designated authority to the Green Climate Fund, the NDA to the Green Climate Fund. So now in the intermediary between the Green Climate Fund and the government of Sierra Leone. So the executive director, they provide no objection letter. So any program where people want access money, they develop a project. And in the vet them project, for sure say, the project reflects national priority or the inside we national plans them and it address the country needs.
Okay.
And it give approval to them project, therefore we get money for implementing.
Earlier on, where you did talk about your role and functions in the Environment Protection Agency, you describe climate change as existential threats. And this now, when you talk about climate change, it don't become topic of discussion. And we see what's in the happen in the environment. Before we can look at the policies and measures them we don't put in place to address climate change. When you talk about climate change, waiting exactly for the layman, waiting the count of mind when you talk about climate change?
Basically, to the layman, not change in some key, parameters there. Change in the weather pattern. Change in the temperature. The place can warm. Sometimes change can be, say, the place can be cold in other areas than they experience a freezing climate. But it also implies, say, we sea level the rise. The areas, then the houses then they are along the ocean, the coastal area, water they take over them. It also means, say, then we wildlife, then animal, then they go extinct, then they run away because of increased temperature. And this, the concern is that it affects we livelihoods, the thing that we depend on for survive. So it affects also all the key sectors there. You talk of agriculture, what we depend on. You talk of energy. You talk of fisheries. You also talk of the tourism sector. So it affects all of it, and we depend on this sector for make we survive. And when then change happen, it also they cause serious problem to we where they affect we use it. So some water in areas the catchment area then they dry.
Okay, so when you talk about climate change, what's not the causes of climate change? Because we know some can be natural and some can be human form. When you talk about the effects, what are some of the causes also of climate change?
Well, according to assessment, the IPCC assessment, when a global study within they do, it don't show say human activity now the leading cause for make we climate change. Then call it anthropogenic activity. What thing we do to the environment? We don't cut down the trees. You find out say erosion don't they happen. We don't cut down the mangrove. When the temperature increase, the ice cap they melt. We get more water. Rain they come, heavy rain they come. The time when we forget, when we forget water, we get increased intensity of rain, and we find out say flooding they happen. And when this happen, lives and property they destroy, they loss. Where we also they call loss and damage where they happen because with the lost life, economic losses they take place. People they lost property. So because of them key concern, now it make we need for plan for climate change. We need for take action for climate urgent action.
Okay.
Because
we go look at that plans and the urgent actions that we think or EPA thinks they need for be taken to address climate change. For Sierra Leone, you are technical expert when it comes into climate change. How you go describe the situation of Sierra Leone in terms of climate change? You think we improve in terms of addressing climate change, or you think we need urgent action?
Sierra Leone is highly vulnerable. So because of the vulnerability status, we need for address the negative impact of climate change. We need for build adaptive capacity. We also need for ensure say we economic sector they be resilient. Then sector they want to identify what we depend on for livelihood. And so far, what in the agency don't they do? Now for put in place the necessary policy, the necessary plan. You not go address a problem where you not get a good plan. So we don't develop series of plans then. One important plan now the NDC, the nationally determined contribution. Article 4, paragraph 2 asks all countries were signatory to the Paris Agreement for prepare, communicate, and maintain successive NDC. And we for communicate with NDC every 5 years. We don't develop series of NDC, 3 generations of NDC. The INDC, when at the first generation, intended nationally determined contribution, the NDC 2.0, and the recent one, we address almost every sector, we involve robust consultation and ensure say all sectors that be involved for where we address climate change, because we cannot address climate change in silo. We need to bring everybody on board for make we address. So the plans they don't be there, and also they try for build capacity, because since it involve everybody for address the problem of climate change, we need for big capacity of those different sectors. Ensure say they're able to mainstream climate change in their activities, but also we also ensure say we attract money, because if you get a plan, no matter how beautiful you plan it, if you not get money for implement your plan, you're not going to do anything. So we don't develop series of projects. We don't implement pilot projects from different, from the Green Climate Fund, from the Global Environment Facility, from the Adaptation Fund. All this now money where we don't help for mobilize. And currently, new funding in the car, we get the Gola Forest project, we get the Zero Waste project, what would they implement for maybe address climate change. So they mobilize resources for implement with actions there.
When I come back to you, we can look at the impact within different plans here, so we don't highlight, don't they create in the fight against climate change in the country, and how far EPA don't they go for implement it in the way they inside the plans. And most recently, the one we will just develop on and work on now, how far they don't go for implement, then the different thing the way they say the plan. In name now Henry David Bayo, and in a senior climate change consultant, GCF liaison officer and Environmental Protection Agency. And they come over to me, other studio guest, Ali Fumba, when an external relations and advocacy officer, now EPA SL, the plan for join the rest of the world for Observe World Environment Day. And EPA now one of the agency under the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change, where they implement policies and laws them where the ministry they develop. And we know some don't they put things in place for observe the day when our World Environment Day. Well, let's get a background of the day. The World Environment Day, people out there go and forget a background. How did they come about?
World Environment Day na a day we set aside na the world we celebrate the world environment, where we celebrate the environment. And it happen not only in a salon, it happen outside the country. So you were on the follow EPA, you find out say this not to the first time where Sierra Leone or the EPA they celebrate this day. You were on the follow EPA, or you were on the follow some of the activities and where we do every year. You will find out that this is not the first time where the agency they celebrate this day. And the theme for this year na climate action, as my colleague Henry, we don't tell you some of the climate things and we be done they do over the years. So if I can give you brief background, the World Environment Day na a day where globally we celebrate the environment, and the celebration not just be limited to just go pin people and don't eat, drink and go. We actually bring awareness to the people and for say this and this way we do now in the affect the environment, this and this now in we know for do, so that we all go get a good environment so we all for live.
So how set Salon now in terms of observing this day?
Well, we fully prepare on our own part, because the environment sector now a very big sector. You get different agencies and we deal under the environment, and of course we ministry. But on the side of the EPA, we well set for this day, as we don't line up lot of activities for celebrate this day. We're not June 5.
So what are the different activities that we don't put in place for observe this day?
we get the 5th, when June 5, where we get with school nature clubs then, because when you catch the pikin and young, you go able to actually develop their mindset. So we get the school nature clubs and we don't they work with over the years. And June 5, we they take them Leicester Peak. Also, we get an educational tour with them. So when we go now Leicester Peak, we get for educate them on the need for let them actually able protect the environment, the surrounding. We dey tell them about conservation, biodiversity, you know, lot of other things and we they need for do regarding plastic pollution, recycling and all. And then when we don't educate them, we also get poem competition. Usai we get for open the floor among the schools them for they would already give them the topic, then get for write a poem. Usai then get for come and read out them poems and this. So from there we get judges them. We get for select the school will write the best poem and we get prize where we give them. Then after that, the 6th, when all the parts of the celebration, we get with Green Run, where we do every year. So we therefore get a health walk where we do from Country Tree to Kalon Car Park. So this not just a health walk, not just a green run. We get PA system, also people and get for day and they educate the public about some of the things and where we do, where they affect the environment, and some of the things and where we for do where not they affect the environment. And when we don't go to Kalon Car Park, when at the finish line, we get various speakers and we get different people and we get for talk on the theme for this year, when climate action, including we executive chairman, with Dr. Abubakar S. Masakwe, instead for give statement. So we get a lot of statement there, you know. And then after the green run, the 8th, we get public engagement. Because we don't just limit the activity to then 2 things, and we get public engagement. So this year, we don't select 2 communities. Also, we get for go, and then communities, and they win Laka and Success. Because when you look at then 2 communities, and right now, then post to environmental threat, especially where it comes.
That make question. Your other communities, then where you go say prone to disaster. We know of the Kube community, the Susans Bay. So why Laka and Success?
Okay. The reason why we choose these 2 communities and because we and other institutions and they don't go na Kube. So we not just want for limited to Kube. You get other areas like when you look at Success now and Laka. When you go there, the final students don't begin to get flooding. And a lot of sand mining and where the go on and then communities and you know, and when you look at the environment again, you look at and say plastic pollution. Now one of the areas and right now where plastic all the sensor where they dispose, where you go to them communities and one of the areas and then where plastic they highly dispose it. So one for engaging communities and they, you know, for talk to them on some of them environmental activities the way they engage in, where they result to some of them floodings and the danger behind them sand mining the way they do. So now make like we choose then 2 communities.
So apart from the engagement we they get now Laka and Success, any other engagement apart from the one we highlight earlier?
Yes. So part of the agency work now for create public awareness. Like what we they do now, this is not just the pre-media engagement. We get for a lot of media engagement. Like tomorrow, we get for the AYV, we get for the other media, radio station and TV stations, and also technical people and go actually talk to people on this year theme. Because every year, we topic where we engage on, it is centered around the theme. Like when my colleague don't they talk on this climate action. So it tell the people and what the EPA don't they do regarding some of the climate actions and where we don't undertake over the years.
Okay. You mentioned about the theme when a climate action. Let me look at the theme. How the theme resonate to the current happenings in Sierra Leone when it comes to environment issues?
How the theme
resonate into the current happenings in terms of climate issue or environmental issue in Sierra Leone?
Okay, like when my colleague Henry be don't talk no, you know, Salon not to exception to some of the climate issues and where they happen in the world. Because when you look at with communities and very, very vulnerable. You know, we don't experience mudslide in this country. We don't experience flooding. We don't experience other environmental threat then. So Salon the part of the global world we're prone to environmental climate threat. The Queen Henry been talking about.
Continue for the with me in the program. In name Ali Fumba and in the external relation advocacy officer na EPA. Make a come over to you anyway. You start to talk about the policies and measures that we una don't put in place. You mentioned about the current plan where you say una the work on now for implement the provisions that we inside this plan for address climate issues na Salon. Let me look at what's not then things also with inside this plan. Where una things able to address climate issues?
Yeah, when you look at climate issues, we, in terms of addressing it, we look at two key areas. Either we adapt to the impact, we cope with them, that I mean, or we mitigate, we reduce then gases the way they lead to climate change, the greenhouse gases. So now then two ways. So when we develop the NDC, of course, it was highly consultative. We developed technical working group. We get technical working group for adaptation, for mitigation, for climate finance, and cross-cutting issue. When you talk of cross-cutting issue, looking at gender, you're looking at persons with disability, you're looking at education, you look at conflict. These are cross-cutting issues. So we bring all the stakeholders, we get something for do with that. They will not develop a new plan. We build on what they don't already implement. Some of the action plan. For instance, the Ministry of Energy don't develop a renewable energy and green growth plan. So we build on those plans. We're looking at the agriculture. You get the feed Salon plan where we see how we can able to build on waiting already. So the action the way we develop policies and measures for both adaptation and mitigation. We develop 23 adaptation measures. And we develop also 19 mitigation measures. Their adaptation measure then ranges from different sectors. We get agriculture, climate smart agriculture. We also get water resources. We also water resources. We get health, sustainable. If you're looking at all mitigation measure, we get the waste management, sustainable waste management. We don't talk about plastic. We also get energy, e-mobility. We're also looking at climate migration. So these are some of the measures. So we develop targets. In this new NDC we develop, we put targets, say, by 2030, now this one for achieve. By 2035, now this one. So we get able to track them well. With those targets, we can able to track them well. But also, for make we NDC be based on evidence, we do a study, what we call greenhouse gas inventory. And greenhouse gas inventory are the basis. You need to know how many greenhouse gas will they emit as a country? What in the common form will they emit from the energy sector, from the waste sector, from the forestry sector, from the agriculture? Well, you don't know how much they emit. You also know how much potential you get for absorbs. Let's say, for instance, for the energy, if they use renewable energy, then they absorb a good amount of greenhouse gas inventory. We pilot the e-keke, the e-mobility. For say, in using vehicles, you emit a lot of CO2, how we can use electric kekes, solar kekes for reduced emission. So when you don't get the base is an inventory, you know what you emit and what you consume, you can able for design the action. Say, okay, we can focus on the agriculture sector, where they emit a lot of methane, a lot of CO2, also nitrous oxide during fertilizer application. We also get other potential. So with all this sector, even in the transport, we also look in. We look at the waste sector. The waste we can help for transformer, okay, for production. So these are some of the actions that we work, both adaptation and mitigation action them from how we address climate change in the NDC.
When you look on a self target, that's within in 2030 by 2030, we don't put certain things them way we achieve. We there into 2026. You would think EPA they at that point to achieve some of the goals here?
Certainly we there at that point. Because in the target that we don't set, we don't get projects that we don't implement. First, we don't implement technology need assessment project. We want technology inside Article 10 of the Paris Agreement. It emphasizes technology development and transfer for address climate change. So currently we do an assessment for know which type technology then they address adaptation and which type technology then they address mitigation. I will take key sector. We're looking at the agriculture and water resource sector for adaptation, and we're looking at the energy and waste sector. So we identify series of technology because these are things that we can help for address climate change easily. You talk of the climate smart agriculture. You get a lot of innovation where we can employ rainwater harvesting. So this project currently they go on. They will not only they identify technology, we they develop technology action plan, and we develop a project for implement that action plan. We also get a ICAT project where we implement. We also get climate migration. Some islands and not they disappear, and one na Yeliboya and Plantain Island. We partner with other institutions, with the IOM, for do an assessment, for know how people may be affected by the climate change problem.
So, anyway, you don't talk about the different measures, yeah, but when you look, we still face with issue of climate change. At times, the weather can change, the place can warm, and also when rains begin come, they see the street and the flood, and other issues them they happen across the country. Also, you think the challenge there when it comes to climate change or climate change threat in the country?
Yeah, in my earlier submission, I made mention, see, you can get very good plans there. But if you not get money, you're not able to implement that plan. And we see that when we develop the NDC 2.0. The money where we put, say, now this money we want for make we address climate change, it been difficult for more we get that. We'll not be able to get half of it. So finance, now one, because you need for build capacity. You need for sensitize. In fact, through the support of UNDP, what will be to develop this new NDC? We go down to community level, chiefdom level, forget the views of people who will be affected, where they suffer from their problem. So when we get them resources, we can able to implement, then we action them.
EPA is an agency under the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change, and government they give couple to both the ministry and the implementing agency when at EPA. Is it that the another gets the subvention on time for implementing a project or the money one can get not enough?
The ministry they try, but the environment problem beaucoup. So the resources not enough. But then they provide that policy direction, because in the midst of those financial challenge, we also don't develop a lot of policies. But also when it comes to environment,
to get the money for implementing policies, yeah.
Well, we can write project, because one good thing where we as an agency, we work with the ministry for develop series of projects, as okay. I say. But when it comes to the Environment Protection Agency, they know they get subvention from government. Now then they generate their own.
So the money when they generate not enough?
The money, because the problem.
When not they use the money, government not they allow enough for use the money?
No, we use the money, but the money not enough. We get for right project. As I tell you, we currently develop projects. We get some projects where we work with FU, not pilot.
I will come to you back anyway. I see Ali the one for say something.
Yeah, I be just one for help me colleague, but already don't talk that side. So when you look at the EPA not get a single loans from the side of government. We not to government competent agency. Like waiting we get now out of the little money then where we generate from.
Una a state-owned enterprise.
Yes, but government not they give you a single.
So what's not to do with the money when they generate?
Well, I don't explain some of the things then we they do. As one, you think of infrastructure. Right now, as I talk to you, the EPA they are among few of the agencies in this country where they try for get offices on their own. Two, we hardworking executive chairman. When you go na Bo right now, we don't almost there at 90% to the build we own office. We don't buy land McKinney, Connor, and then just over this street here, now we office now in the opposite you so.
You talk.
Yes.
You mentioned about the office next door to we.
Yes.
This office don't take a very long time, since 2014 or 15 when we start this project, but it don't become an abandoned building.
Yes.
So
well, I know what agree say it don't become an abandoned building. You know, say for done this office, they see and say that stage where it is now, if for done. But all of them thing in na money. And like I tell you, we know they get money directly from
On
government.
not a budget.
But we don't go.
On not
we
a
don't
factor inside an annual budget plan.
the money will involve
In terms of
high,
a complete
high.
building.
But right now, I don't will tell you anything in there. But plan day very soon for let we resume the construction of this office.
We will look into that issue there more some other time. But let's come back to the topic. You, in terms of the World Environment Day, you know, don't get different activities. And I also get, apart from the engagement, when I get for get Nalaka, when I get for engage stakeholders, then let we look at the role of ordinary people when it comes to the fight against climate change. What do you think, say, citizens need for do for protect the environment?
Citizens, for like the environment, are like a baby. The environment are like a baby, not like Peking, you know. And Peking, not so one person the help for protect them or the help for let it grow. When you born Peking, you must get different people where they come in, you know. So the environment, the public, or I can say citizens, we all get role for protect the environment. Like for instance, the dirty. When you get the dirty, not to on the street. Because we try on the street, where water at the end of the day, you get for wash down, block then drainages and create flooding. Like plastic. Now, we don't even get companies in this country where they recycle plastic, and we don't create a lot of environmental awareness on some of them things. And when you get you bottle plastic or then sachet there, not see where you don't now use. They give you make money out of it. You got companies that don't do now where they buy some of them bottles and where they buy them plastic there. You know, so the community or the people will all get role for play for protect the environment. Not only the work of the EPA or the Ministry of Environment.
Continue for day with me in the program in name na Ali Fumba and in the External Regulation Advocacy Officer na EPA and also get Henry David by your senior climate change consultant na EPA. Now continue for day with me in the program. The program na midday show, and inside the program we'll go for this break.
Guess who's on the mic and kill?
Accurate Jojo.
And Fredal, make we pledge with love and loyalty to the land that we love. Place where we call it home.
Nami and you for me. Nami and you for make this country. Nami and you for build. Nami and you for build this country. Put sound first. Make we put we country first. Put sound first. Make we put we country first. Home sweet home, no place like home. No matter how far you don't go, no forget home. Make we every set and left for when we set. Make we all reset and left for get reset. Make we love reset because we don't know one.
The program na midday show, and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And today we look at issue we get for do with the environment as Salon the plan for join the rest of the world for observe World Environment Day. And for looking into that, I get two gentlemen them from the Environment Protection Agency, when Ali Fumba, External Relations Advocacy Officer na EPA, and Henry David Bayo, Senior Climate Change Consultant na Environment Protection Agency. agency. I come over to you, David Bayo. You mentioned, say, one of the challenge we una dey get na the issue of funding. The EPA na one of the state-owned enterprise them where they generate money for itself. Let me look at some of the couple we una don't they generate, and this couple we una they generate. How una they use them?
Thank you very much. Yeah. For make we able to mobilize money as an agency, what do we develop? We develop a blueprint, what we call the EPAT, the EPA transformation strategy. In that strategy, it looks at we key department there. We get climate change, natural resource governance, and environmental health and safety. We also align to the triple planetary crisis we face. And in all these departments, we get plan how we for generate money, because one of the strategy we would use now for me we partner with other organizations. But over the years, at least, we don't generate about 7.3 million in climate and environmental finance so far. And internal revenue generated now about 168.9 million new loans. And also we increase by 14.9 million new loans to 2024. And also we don't partner with a lot of institutions. As I say, UNDP now one institution we partner we don't mobilize some resources for implement. We launch the Youth Innovation Challenge, wherein we support youth groups, young people with innovation with startup kits. Some prepare a solar backpack with charger, where also the upscale and community. We also support somebody where they make a rooftop from plastic, a young boy. And we also support somebody where they don't build greenhouse gas with fresh vegetable in academia. So we also the partner, as I say, we also partner with other institutions like Trokia for do the NDC scorecard. We also partner with Sense Alone for do the loss and damage assessment.
So you think some of the measures here or the steps here also want to take in terms of supporting people for develop the innovation when it comes to climate issues enough in the fight against climate change? Because when you go, the rainstorm begin to come, and just few days ago when rains to come, we see flooding, we see a lot of things that happen, we see the environment, the warm pass out a big day before. You think that steps are also enough or not enough for address the issue of climate change?
Of course, then also they're enough, because we use multi-pronged approach. Whilst we are a scientific institution, we do a lot of assessment, a lot of study. We also develop the binary transparency report for communicate with climate status in the country. But also we engage in awareness raising. Apart from the support with the gear, we also the work for build the capacity of other sector for collect data. Now we try for establish a data center for environmental data and statistics. Because if you want to develop a project, you need data, you need evidence, you need empirical data. So we want to ensure say we get this center where now will be a repository, a one-stop shop for every data you want. So we need technology. And now we try for digitize with system.
But I don't get this center now.
Of course, there's a roadmap. They work towards that. We get a project where they support with FAO, where they support that center, the establishment of that particular center.
These are intentions, and these are some things that we're still there in black and white. When did they begin coming to reality?
So implementation, they on. At the moment, we don't develop a strategy as to the implementation of that. We also don't try to set up a digital system. So for instance, if you want to apply for environmental rights, because we're not a regulatory body also, we regulate some of those companies and where the operation, they affect the environment. Yes. So for make things, instead of them travel, then able they na their home, apply, go through the process, and but also if they face challenge, we get a grievance redress system with a digital platform also. We get also a toll-free line. We can easily reach to the EPA.
Before I come to Aliu, you talk about the regulate other, companies where they into environment business. When you look, you see factories they operate in the country. Where they see mining companies And one of the things and way that they do is that the activities they create impact into the environment. And una responsible for do with the environment assessment impact. How far una they go for ensure say una able for make sure that company they abide to the regulations the way they protect the environment?
Of course, we act with the EPA Act of 2002 as amended in it was established in the act came into existence in 2008, amended in 2010. They will get a new act. For me, we reinforced we operation. In other words, for address some of these challenges, the activities of companies, of individuals on the environment. So it's a matter of must by law. See, if your activity that affect the environment, you get for do environmental impact assessment, you get for implement certain measures them where they take care of the environment. So most of the time we get challenged with some illegal operations.
And what
so,
do they do towards that?
As you can do, of course, we get with legal team. We don't take issues them to court.
Don't they take action against come the way they go against the EPA Act?
Certainly, in fact, we don't close a lot of companies and way they go against the act. But also, we also don't do a raiding because sometimes people, community most times can compromise or sometimes they can do it in hiding. But we also do raid. Of course, we don't burn series of dredges. If you follow we in our social media, there are a lot of action we will take for reduce the impact of dredging. Now we water. You find out say most of we river. Currently, even the Roque River, there is a lot of activities where they go. Okay. But with the efforts of the executive chairman, of course, the other department, because not to one department, all the departments are also involved in these regulations.
Continue for the with me at the program, Henry David Bayo, Senior Climate Change Consultant, EPA. I come to Aliu Fumba. In terms of the World Environment Day, one they partner with other institutions them for observe this day?
Yeah. This year, because we can shift most time we can open the partnership, we can write letters to various institutions and where we feel like saying them for able help we for do the World Environment Day. So what we do this year, we write letters to different institutions and QCell now one of we leading sponsors we come on board this year for able help we for do the World Environment Day. So this year we partner with QCell.
So you talk about partnership. The EPA they under the ministry. When they talk more they focus on EPA. What's the relationship between EPA and that of the Ministry of the Environment?
The ministry now.
When I get a cordial relationship.
Of course, the ministry now with daddy. The
ministry and all day into this planning.
Yes. So anything where we they do, then they provide that policy framework for we, then they provide for we that guidance for let we ensure say anything where we they do in accordance with within then we're supposed to do.
The World Environment Day an annual event in Salon every year they join other countries them for observe this day. Let me look at the impact of change where this day they bring into the fight against climate change and other environmental related issues.
Well, I believe say as the discussions they go, you already able to know some of the things and waiting at the importance of this day to we as a country. Like one, we they embark on robust awareness raising because sometimes and then you go do something but you don't know what thing you they do. So one of the things where we embark on this year and for ensure say or what we don't do over the years on World Environment Day and for bring awareness to people and for let them know say some of the thing that where they do it pose threat to the environment. And now this therefore do at the end of the day for ensure say then problems they are within the envisaging at the environment and all will happen. So we embark on awareness.
Okay.
And also we like I tell you the school picking them. One for catch them young. One for catch the school picking them young. So what we do and not so this year no more, even last year or the previous years, we don't engage the school picking them. Like last year so na debate. We organize debate for them. Who side the winner take home 5,000 leons. 5 million leons. You know, Secoman get 3 million, then Oleons then third bank get 2 million. So because we already now, this we own generation, most of them things and are where them pick it and they know, we not be know. So sometimes out of ignorance, they do something where you don't know.
So the awareness raising where you talk about, is it not a wait for the World Environment Day for CAM on something when they do apart from the World Environment Day?
No, it is part of all we activities. If you can follow Afri Radio now one of the radio stations, and we then give it free part of the corporate social responsibility, give it free airtime day. So we don't engage Afri Radio almost on every Monday. Also we talk on different topics. And when you follow we social media handle, EPA, now one of the social media pages that we engaging. I mean, almost every week you must see something there with the agency they do. And when you look at even with WhatsApp groups, you see most of the WhatsApp group, anything where we they do, we they share them there. So not only on World Environment Day, we awareness raising, don't they go beyond just World Environment Day.
During the stakeholder meetings, when I can get, we can do embark on an awareness raising campaign. What's that for some of the key messages they want to take along to people we get for do with the environment?
Think about the context specific. Like I tell you, the EPA a technical agency. So if they go to any community, we message to that community, they get for the context specific. Meaning the program the way we design for say this trip where we go, now this we talk on. But for every community where we go, we get a lot of things that way we talk on. Like for instance, we talk on issues like plastic pollution, we talk on issues like illegal dredge mining, and a lot of other environmental issues.
Freetown, not always Sierra Leone. You get other places in the provinces where they go through climate or environment, where they get environmental issues then. Aside the way mining activities that happen, aside the way factories and day, aside the way flooding happen, a lot of other activities that they happen. So this day we try to observe. They get similar activities in the provinces,
yes,
apart from Freetown?
Yes, and right across. So waiting we they do a similar activity get for happen the north. So waiting we do now the north this year we the shift to Kabbalah because the previous years now inside Makeni Township, the Makeni City, the engagement we don't happen. So this year we the shift to Kabbalah. And then when you go na Kono have similar activity get for happen the Kenima and Bo. So for whatever activity where we they do now it get for happen right across.
Continue for the with me at the program. A name na Ali Fumba, in the external relations or advocacy officer na EPA. I come over to you, Henry. We not get better time again at the program. What would be your word of advice to people in terms of how they for protect or take care of the environment?
Thank you very much. Of course, we all get collective and individual responsibility for take care of the environment. As individual, I think we get for change with lifestyles. Not do anything where they affect the environment. For go cut trees, engage in sand mining, in dredging, anything way wrong as individual. But if somebody they do those negative impacts, negative activity where they affect the environment, now you place that for communicate. But also collectively, we all can come together for support action. For instance, the Environment Protection don't form Chiefdom Environmental Enforcement Committee. So then committee then can help for support we work because we're not in the all side. So those committees in those chiefdoms or those villages also, how we can implement some of them training, then awareness so we don't go. So as I say, we get responsibility for care for the environment because now the thing and the way we all share in common. If we do anything bad to the environment, in turn, it affects we. So like collective action. Then this year team, they talk of urgent climate action, how we can harness nature-based solution for address climate change. So no matter how small your action day, join forces together. May we work collectively, support the EPA, support the Ministry of Environment and Climate and other stakeholders. When we join forces together, we can make a tremendous impact.
One for say plenty thank you to you, Henry David, by your senior climate change consultant na Environment Protection Agency. I come over to you, David Aliu. With the roundup, Ahead of the World Environment Day, waiting next week for Sierra Leone.
Like I say, the EPA will line up activities then, we will continue for provide the public the necessary engagement then, where they need for know, for let we all protect the environment. And then we dey invite everybody for make them join we for celebrate this year World Environment Day, the Green Run, like I say, it happen, now concentrate to Kalon Car Park. Everybody welcome for join we.
So when exactly na the day?
That's Saturday. The Green Run na Saturday, like I've been saying. It start from 7. So 7 o'clock.
The World Environment Day when exactly?
The World Environment Day na June 5. When na this Friday where they come.
So
June 5.
Apart from the activities where you don't talk about the World Environment Day, what are the words of advice you go left to people?
The advice where I go left for give family out there and that for protect the environment. It depends on all the choice where we all make at the end of the day, because the message go come, we go sit down here from today till tomorrow we talk, but it depends on the choice where you go make for adhere to that message. So I dey encourage everybody for one, let them left for to dot in our streets, and then also let we protect we wetlands and then keep we communities very, very clean.
In name na David Fumba, and in the External Relations Officer at the Environment Protection Agency, and also they talk to Henry David Bayo, when a Senior Climate Change Consultant, GCF Liaison Officer at the Environment Protection Agency. One for say plenty thank you to Una for Una taking our time for be part of the program today. Well, Fumble, and because of time, now we go bring down the curtain for today's edition of the program Midday Show. Plenty thank you to my producer Theodore Arena. But plenty thank you to DJ Schoolface and also my Kamara Bangura. We make una see we of the social media platforms. So till we meet again, me and Adeyemi Jackson, they say goodbye.